Good morning, friends. Welcome back to another class of medical classes by Srinidhi Kumar Acharya. Please subscribe my channel and also give your comments. So today we will discuss the continued part of the previous class, that is how to get a healthy progeny through Ayurveda. Now in the last class we have discussed about the different aspects of adolescent care during the life of the child. Or in the adolescence period is very important. We have seen the different steps that have to be taken, starting from the Godana Samskara, then ovulation, that is Rajaswala Paricharya, Rutumati Paricharya, then preventing from the Jata Harinis, etc. Different the regiments and the strict rules and regulations has been mentioned in Ayurveda, and we have discussed that. So today we will have the continued part of the same. Okay, now the adolescence period or puberty period is over. Then we will have the next stage, that is the marriage, that is Vivaha and Garbhadana. These two are the other cases. Okay, so now this particular care which has to be taken after the completion of the adolescence period till the marriage stage, and that is called as premarital care. Okay, so the girl or boy has completed the adolescence period and he is now into the puberty, and starting from the puberty till the child or boy get married, that particular period, that is called as premarital period. And this premarital period care has been mentioned in our science. So today we will go and discuss about some of the premarital care which is mentioned in our Ayurvedic classics in order to get the healthy progeny. Now premarital counseling. So this is very important nowadays, premarital counseling. And the same premarital counseling has been mentioned in Ayurveda in a very beautiful way. Now in India, and Indian philosophy and even Ayurveda says marriage rites. So how to do the marriage and what are the prerequisites and precautionary method when you are doing the marriage. So marriage is nothing but it is the process of giving a partner to the individual. And while selecting the partner, we should be very, very careful. And what Ayurveda says, the first thing is, what Ayurveda says is, while selecting the partner, we should take into consideration of the Varna, Kula, Rupa, Shila of the both partners. Male and female partners, both should be checked for their Varna, Kula, Rupa and Shila. So what it suggests? The Varna here not suggests towards the color or complexion of the girl or boy. Varna refers to the race. Racial differences will be always there, just like European race, Indian race, Asian race and African race. Racial differences will be there. So this is that these racial differences should be understood. Number one. Varna can be also taken as a psychological quality. Now, if you see in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna divides the people in four ways, four categories: Brahmana, Vaishya, Shudra, and as well as Kshatriya. Okay. Now, here, this classification was done on the basis of Varna Veda. It's Varna Veda. So, this suggests that this is nothing to do with the caste and all. The Varna is suggested towards the psychological quality. Varnatmaka and Dhanunatmaka, these are the two types of the words actually. Okay, so Varna refers to the psychological quality of the individual. I mean to say, every individual will have four important psychological basic qualities. This is present in each and every individual. What is that? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. These are the four important qualities. These are the four important qualities. Okay, every individual has got some academic quality. That is how to get the knowledge and level of understanding, level of realization. This will be there. And few people are very good in understanding, recalling, then again repeating, and also many times understanding the concepts very quickly and able to guide others also. So individuals, that particular psychological quality where he is able to understand very fast, able to recall very fast, and he also know to use it whenever it is required for the guidance of the others. This particular quality of an individual, psychological quality of an individual, is called as Brahmanya. This is called as Brahmanya. Okay. And another important psychological quality of any individual is a Kshatriya. That is leadership quality, or you say administrative quality, or leading from the front and ready to take the risk. And these are some of the qualities which are dominantly present in some of the individuals, psychological quality. And those who are having dominantly this particular quality or dominated by this quality in their life or psyche, so they are called as Kshatriyas. Another is the calculative property. Every individual have got calculative property, and some of them are very good in maths and some of them are very poor in maths. That suggests that the calculative and imagination and what is a prediction quality. So future prediction quality. So that is very good in those people. Ayurveda says, or Indian philosophy says, such people as Vaishyas. Vaishyas. And another basic quality is service-mindedness and working capacity. Okay, workaholics, working capacity, service-mindedness. Okay, so or sometimes it's also called as dependency. Few people are there, they work very well, but they should be guided by others. So if you give an individual job to them, they cannot work. But under any particular government sector or anywhere under private sector, they can work very well. So they are the employers. As employers, they can do very well. So such a quality where dependency is required, such quality where service-mindedness is there, such qualities, they are very good in work and they are very prompt in their work. So such quality, such a psychological quality is called a Shudra quality. So everybody has got all this property in their psyche, but the level varies. You will have the Brahmana capacity or quality at the higher level. You will have Kshatriya at the higher level, or few have calculative or Vaishya quality at a high level, and few will have the Shudra quality at a higher level. So this is called as the psychological classification. It is not caste based classification. Basic psychological qualities of an individual, 4 basic, and this can be sub-categorized into many types now, but these are the 4 basic qualities. Okay, now this is that Varna means when you are selecting an individual, a partner to a particular individual, and these qualities has to be taken into account. Accordingly, you have to select. It should match. These qualities should match. Okay, so this is one point that you have to take care at the time of selection of an partner for an individual. Similarly, Kula is also important. The family and family background, that has to be also understood. That's very important. Each family is different. Each familial genetic tendency is different. Each family genetic setup is different. Okay, so we have to take care of that also. Rupa may be external beauty or maybe inner beauty. That has to be taken into consideration. And Sheela means a character, good and bad character. So that has to be taken into consideration. So why I'm telling this, consideration of these 4 things is very important to have a future comfortable married life. Okay, so because they have got a lot of responsibilities in their future married life. Okay, so they should be in a coordinated way. They have to lead life in a coordinated fashion, and they have got responsibilities. They have got the responsibility of childbearing, and there should be there should be a quality of compromisation and understanding, etc. So to have all these qualities in future life, concentration of these 4 factors in the beginning itself is very important. Otherwise, we can repent for that. There is no problem. There is no use of it. Just we can only repent. Okay. So this result in so many marriage breakdowns, divorces, and all those things. Anyway, so this is the first method of premarital counseling, which is mentioned in Ayurveda and Indian science. Number 2 is Sagotra Vivaha. That means this is that marriage should be prohibited in the individuals between the individuals of same Gotra. As far as Indian classics, Indian philosophy, all human beings in this world are classified into 8 or 9 groups, depending on the name of different rishis, stages. we will call it as Gotras. That means there is a Bhargava Gotra, so there is Vishwamitra Gotra, and there is also the Kashyapa Gotra, Angirasa Gotra, and like that, Vishwamitra Gotra. So different Gotras are there. Okay, so people basically originated from that particular Gotha. People basically originated from that particular Gotha, then go on increasing, then they go on increasing in thousands of number, but basic genetic material is from that Gotha. Okay, so they are all the descendants of that particular Gotra. So what Ayurveda says is, don't do marriage on the same Gotra. Girl of same Gotra and boy of the same Gotra should not be entertained for the marriage. Always find a girl from another Gotra. Suppose Angirasa Gotra is there and he has to marry with a girl of any of the other Gotras except Angirasa Gotra. Now, actually, this is a very beautiful concept. The concept is prevention of autosomal and X-linked recessive disorders. Autosomal and X-linked recessive disorders. Okay. Now, we know that autosomal recessive disorders, 90% of the genetic disorders are autosomal recessive disorders. Okay. They are very common. Okay. So, now prevention of this recessive disorder. Suppose these recessive disorders, usually they will skip the family. Okay, horizontal transmission will be there. They will skip the family and carrier state will be present. Carrier state will be present in this type of inheritance. Okay, so this is very common when you do the consanguineous marriage. In the consanguineous marriage, now a defective gene which is present, if it is a single defective gene, it will not cause any problem. It remains as a carrier. If both the genes are get affected in a particular allele, then it will lead to a disease, recessive disease. Okay. So now this will explain in another class. So this particular avoiding the same Gotra helps to avoid the autosomal and X-linked recessive disorders, so that the carrier gene, when come in contact with another carrier gene, may get stronger and it may manifest the disease. Such a beautiful concept of prevention of autosomal recessive and X-linked recessive disorders in Ayurveda. Of course, this is also not followed nowadays, and as a result, these particular recessive trait disorders are also increasing. The basic thing is why we have to follow this. It looks very rigid. Maybe thing is, see, these recessive disorders, only way of controlling these genetic disorder is following such strict rules and regulations. There is no way out. These disorders will go on transferring from one generation to another generation, and incidences will go on increasing, and the whole population will go to suffer. Therefore, Ayurveda made the rule that, a simple rule, at least we cannot assure that even by marrying with another Gotra individual, the recessive disorders will be completely prevented. No, there is no such possibilities, but it can be minimized. To greater extent, it can be minimized. Therefore, Sagotra Vivahas are expected. This will not get suitable. That means that this will not fit for the autosomal dominant trait of disorder. But autosomal recessive type of disorders, if you go for Agotra Vivaha, that means avoiding Sagotra Vivaha, so that is quite useful and also helpful. So this is second important case of a point of a premarital counseling before marriage. Okay, so don't go for marriage in the same Gotra. Okay, so previously it was very strictly followed, but I would say since last maybe because of various reasons, infiltrations, invasions from the different countries and all those things, and migration of the people from one area to another area, this point has been now neglected. Okay, but still some of the traditional family is followed. Now, another important is during this pre-marital period, before the marriage and after the puberty, again, the girl has to protect herself from different type of Jataharnis. As I told Revati Jataharni, this is nothing but intrauterine infections or some other infections during the puberty or adolescence period or post-pubertal period. So this should be prevented. So this be very, very hazardous to the growing women. Now, another is astrological calculations. Another is astrological calculations. This is a very speciality of one of the special aspects of Indian philosophy. So we believe in astrology. Astrology is nothing but it is a prediction of the future possibilities. Okay, how this prediction was made? Because we believe this Brahmanda, this whole universe is one, and the human being is also part of the universe. Human being is also part of the universe. So he cannot be separated from the universe. And just like if I am residing in a home, will be get influenced by the different members who are present in the home. Similarly, I am also residing in the universe, and I will be also get influenced or affected by different planets, different stars which are present. And this whole concept of astrology means astrological calculations was based on this position. What is very important is we will first see at the time of the birth. At the time of the birth or day, etc. We will see at the time of the birth what was the astrological calculations. Okay, at the time of the birth time, what was the position of the particular star, particular planet, which is affecting that newborn child, and accordingly a calculation will be made. And if the probable the psychological characters and physical characters in future nature of that particular child will be predicted. It's a prediction. It's not 100% true. It's prediction. Okay. Now, actually, just like humans will have different characters, each star and each planet has also attributed with some psychological characters and also physical characters. And they will match the human characters with this particular psychological and physical characters of the planet and star. And accordingly, they will come to a conclusion about the future health of the child and the future psychological status of the child and other future predictions of the child will be done. Now, what I mean to say is, even in each and every marriage in India, these astrological calculations were done previously. Nowadays, it is again diminishing, very bad. And astrological calculations were done so that this helps to, that means we will call it as Kundali or Jataka. It is called as Kundali or Jataka. The female Kundali and the male Kundali. So that will be matched for different psychological behavior and physical behaviors, etc. And they will predict the future comfortable marital life. Whether they will have the comfortable marital life, whether they will have in psychological friction, whether they will have behavioral friction, do they have the good progenies, all these things will be predicted based on these calculations. Jyotish Shastra is a very tremendous and scientific explanation. The calculation of the Jyotish Shastra is very important. The prediction is we can predict to any extent, but that calculation always stays true. Okay, because even if the eclipse is solar eclipse and this lunar eclipse, so they predict by this calculation, and even today also it holds good. Okay, so therefore there is no doubt about the calculatory part of the astrology. Okay, the prediction you can exaggerate to some extent, that's a different issue. So this is one more important premarital counseling to minimize the familial conflicts or parental conflicts and have a comfortable future life in future marriage life in the marriage life of the couples. That will be done in each and every marriage in India. This is another way of premarital counseling. Premarital counseling. See, in those days there is no genetic studies were taking place. Genetic studies, nowadays we have got different types of genetic studies to see that what will be the future life, what about the offsprings, what are the possibilities of inheritation of the genetic disorders, everything we have got. But in those days, they used to assess it genetic predisposition in a different way, and their main aim is, instead of assessing the genetic tendencies, they are focusing on prevention of the genetic tendencies. So we don't know. See, what is the use after knowing that the male is get affected, suppose a female is get affected with some of the genetic problem, and you are doing the genetic study, you come to know that yes, this boy has got some problem and his offspring will be get suffered with some of the problem. By knowing this, what is the use? No use. Rather than you try to prevent them. So everything here mentioned is for the prevention purpose, starting from the marriage rights, starting from the Sagotra Vivaha, starting from Jataharani, starting from astrological calculations. And they are not assuring that ensuring that these things are giving 100% result, but it minimizes the risk. It minimizes the risk. Now, another important premarital counseling is marriage function. The marriage function is not a simple marriage function or mechanical function, or it's not just a social gathering in India. Marriage means two couples will bind together in a relationship, and a priest will be there who is chanting the mantras. And in the Homa or Havana we perform, and they have to take some of the oath and all those things. Now these mantras or chanting of the mantras, so they carry a tremendous meaning. Okay, so these mantras suggest to how to maintain the married life, how to go through in the marriage life, and what about the development of trust between the two partners, what are the responsibility of two partners, and what are their aim, and what are their objectives, and how they have to take care of the child. Many things. It's surprise package is explained these mantras. Okay, so the priest will go into chant the mantras, and these mantras carry all these meanings, and that has to be conveyed to the partners. It is not done up to the mark nowadays. That's a different issue. Okay, but these mantras contain a beautiful message. What is the message? Message is very simple: how to lead the marital life. Why we are getting married and why we are doing the intercourse. Okay, when there is a kids, what we have to do? We have to be together till the end. Okay, in the first part, she may be that means she is in the reproductive period, and there will be some sexual attraction and physical attraction. But after the 40 or 45 years, they have to lead. She has to lead a role of, she or he has to lead a role of good friend. Okay, in future, so that whole society will be understood, and they will be in the guiding force. They will be the guiding force. They are their kids. After 40, they will be a guiding force, or they are the teachers for their kids how to lead the life. So therefore, this concept is very unique in India. Okay, so this is called as marriage function, and marriage function teaches all these things. This is also a type of premarital counseling. Premarital counseling, go through the mantra, meaning of the mantra, you will be astonished because it's such a nice way it is explained. Okay, so this is a premarital counseling. Again, if you see what is the aim, aim is again very simple. What is the aim? Aim is to get the healthy progeny. Aim is to to produce a healthy society in future. Okay, so this is a second important step which should be followed in getting a good progeny through Ayurveda. So with this, we conclude today. We will continue same in the next class, and don't forget to subscribe my channel and also give your valuable comments. Thank you very much.